The great author of one of the best-selling books about finances called Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert T. Kiyosaki, is an American businessman, investor, and best-selling author. Mr. Kiyosaki is well known for revealing the truth about money and finances that they don't teach in any school. Come and let us check on what we can learn from this man filled with wisdom and great experiences. There's a lot of people who may or may not know they're in big financial trouble, and that is something that should be concerning about us today. There's a lot of people. Maybe they're not rich, but they're going to go broke. But here's a background on this whole thing about why we're in this crisis 1974. He was just getting out of the Marine Corps and was stationed in Hawaii at Kaneho Bay Marine Career Station, and he was looking for a job, so he went and got a job with the Xerox Corporation to learn how to sell, and that was the main reason. So over the next couple of years, he saw this exodus of school teachers leaving the profession, and it goes to his full family of school teachers, and they're becoming financial planners. It sounded good, like they were experts in all of this. School teachers are all of these other people who are just quitting their jobs to have a profession called financial planner, and then they were advising people who knew nothing about money, about their financial future. He thought, man, there's going to be a train wreck in the future. You might be in financial trouble, your parents or your grandparents might be in severe financial trouble today because that 1974 Act, the Arrest Act, which led to a 401k in these IRAs and Roth IRAs, was specifically designed for people who want to be told what to do. Go to school, get a job. Dave Ramsey is a friend of his who says live debt-free, but he said that he won't do that. Most people should because they don't know how to handle that other side of the coin. He said that he went to school to learn how to handle debt, how to raise capital using other people's money, and when you've lost somebody's money, it's pretty frightening. So that's why he doesn't do those stuff, because that's the problem. Some people get conditioned to be led by foolish people who tell you what to do with your money. He doesn't really know what's going to happen, but something has to give. We users cannot keep printing money to solve financial problems. But if you awaken in your financial genius, greed is good. Getting rich is fun. It is the most fun game we play, and the reason he likes it is because markets go up and markets go down. It's like life, and it's just real life. For you most people, awaken your financial genius and take control of your financial future. What happened to him was that when having a rich dad and poor dad, he saw his poor dad, a PhD from Stanford in Chicago and University in Northwest. He was just so content to have a PhD and a job, and a government pension. It is kind of a defined benefit plan where you are guaranteed a paycheck for life. That's defined benefit, and that's why so many people become government employees. Which is why our government is going broke, because of all of these people who get a government job for the defined benefit pension plan. Most academics have this point of view: I'm not interested in money. There's a self-righteous, stupid underlying attitude there. It is like thinking that our whole life is dedicated to the kids. So his encouragement is for the parents to educate them about money well. Now we're in Ukraine and the inflation is going through the roof, and Elon Musk is laying off 10% of his workforce. We're talking about what you can do now. Given the state of the economy, and if you're paying for your retirement, they'll say 65. You might be in serious trouble. He thinks in the baby boom generation, they're out of time. There is a very big difference because the time is a big factor in this whole thing. It's good the crypto guys are learning it early, but the problem with our generation, his generation, was they came of age around, let's say, 1970. Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, and all we knew was a boom economy. Even right after 2008, they just printed more money. It kept booming, but that's why he said our debt to GDP is now 125%. It means for every dollar we bring in, we're spending. We can't cover it. Our tax dollars can't cover it. So they keep borrowing more money. Not really borrowing more money, but propping the market up. And now we're at the end of the line. But after you kind of already all markets boom and all markets bust, but this could be the biggest bust in world history. It is a global bust. Maybe there will be a global depression again. The biggest lie he ever heard is if you try to take their paycheck away, they fight like dogs. They'll bite you in the head. It is the biggest lie, and so many people will sell their soul Now they'll do anything to keep that job, but they're not interested in money because money is the root of all evil. And that's what he always hears going on all the time. Poor leading the blind, it's just shocking. Our problem is education. So hardcore Marxist right now that is the communist game plan. It's always been to invade higher education. So in 1930, the Frankfurt School sent teachers to Columbia University in New York, and that's when the student protests began, and they began. America became communist through our education system. He is making more money than ever before today, but he is a proactive investor. He says to John that he just sold 2 properties that made quite a bit of money. Where do you put your money? You put it in cash. He bought Wagyu bulls, Japanese breeding bulls, which he always wanted to have but never got there. But anyway, he is now in the food and oil business now, but not stock business because he's said that he doesn't trust stocks or bonds. He does have some, but they're companies. He took public, but he is proactive and most people like them want to be told what to do, so he writes about what he does in all his books. There is a difference there, so he just said just recently, he sold 2 pieces of land, made $400,000, and he puts it into Wagyu cattle and cows, and next day, they drop more cattle. So it's called cash flow. It is not that hard to do, but you have to kind of know what you're doing. So his whole strategy being a Marine and a C student and never been bright in school. He always asks people who are doing what he wants to do. So his friend who is investing in the bulls, that's what he does. He invests in bulls and this bull is $500,000 and he breeds. Probably sells about 100 cows a year and thinks of all the calves that drop from that. That's leverage. He likes the whole formula and he likes to eat it now. If you don't like to eat beef, chew on some celery. He doesn't really care, but you get your little personality dignity up there and you miss the whole point. Here, invest in what people need. People need oil, he invested in it. People need housing, he invests in it. People need food, he invests in it. There is a very big difference, but he invests with people who are doing what we invest in. There's a certain female that's famous on television especially. PBS she uses. Cut up your credit cards and live below your means and diversify. He called diversification. Just diversify your account. So this person was charged or something, right? And we won't mention her name. He thinks it was a debit card fraud amongst other things. He sits there and watches all this horror show going in front of us, and then so many people have been trained because they go to school. Tell me what to do. The interviewer said, 78% of working adults aren't homeless people who are living paycheck to paycheck. It's a paycheck, that's why tell me what to do. To answer that, he gave him an example. Dave Ramsey is a friend of his, and his advice is live debt-free, but the other side of the coin is somebody like him, and what he studied was how do he use debt because debt became money in 1971. He learned how to borrow money because debt is tax-free and invest in property, and then he got his income tax-free because appreciation, depreciation, amortization, these are tax laws, but that takes time to study. Don't just do it overnight, but you got to study. If you don't want to be told what to do, then just listen to the TVs and pray, then buy, hold, and pray, he calls it. During a crash is when you make most of your money. What he and his wife Kim are starting, they also have to share some sacrifices. The bottom line is you have to think about how to invest your money. Study, work hard, save, invest, and enjoy.